Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Taco Bites, your daily bite of Degen, episode number 243. Oh man, I just want to send out a quick thank you to everyone for joining us. Unfortunately, this is going to be some really cool stuff. Tonight actually is going to be a quick bite. So that's sort of what we're having to change this to. Because what's going to happen tomorrow is some fun stuff. Hello and welcome. One of the things that we have going out today, we're going to be doing, we got an invite to speak real quick for tonight's quick bite. I don't know, maybe she might join us up on stage. Probably won't, as it's so last minute, but will definitely come up as a speaker. And I'm going to wait because I have patience. And if not, we totally understand. Can we get an emoji? Thumbs up if you're coming up. Thumbs down if you want to stay down. That sounds weird. All right. Well, how are we not already following the amazing Jess? We got to change that. Maybe they had a different piece at one time. So who knows? But tonight's episode was going to be covering a whole bunch of the stuff on the SEC today, with Gary Gensler getting sort of, in one instance having flowers just thrown on him and being, thanking him for his service. But other times it was just, straight nails sort of being thrown to him. It was interesting to see how Emmer sort of attached that booth on him and really sort of really held him to his questioning, which, in any other context, I would say is rude. But when you have 5 minutes and, I don't know. In any other context outside of DC, I would say it's rude. Same thing with, you could just sort of see, when one of the, because it was a Congress and Senate, there was two senators in there, if I remember right, from Senate hearing committee members were, giving flowers, I guess you could say, to Gary. I didn't even see him look at him. They would just kept their face down in a piece of paper, like they were afraid that their real emotions would be seen or something like that. But that's maybe me just reading too much into it. A lot of the stuff that was covered was how many it was really pushed that regulation through penalty has been sort of the status quo that they've been going through. So it's going to be fun to sort of take that apart a little bit more tomorrow. We're going to try to see if we can find a majority of these penalty pieces, because it sort of sucks when you go to someone for help and they say, yeah, sure, we'll help you, but then they don't help you. They don't give you any feedback. And then they just come back and say, you are doing this wrong and we're going to fine you. So it's interesting to see how the politics on this have really shaped, with collecting over $70 million to use, the SEC has collected in this past year that they have been able to then use for their own budget, and then asking for another whopping more. I will be honest, this reminds me of when I was a kid and a young adult. I found the more Christmas letters that I sent out, the more Christmas cards I got back. So each year my address book grew of what family members I would mail to. And literally that was like for a few years till there was a year I sent out 200 plus Christmas cards. So it's one of those things where they think, in my opinion, the SEC feels that the more things they throw on the wall, the more things that they will get to stick, means the more fines they'll collect, means the more that they'll be able to um, fatten their budget, and then the more they'll be able to ask for, because if they were able to collect this much with their current budget, what could they collect more um, with a bigger budget? And so, unfortunately, that's sort of the lay of the land. As I've been talking about a little bit with regulation, the way I sort of see it, I see a little this, if regulation does come out this year, it's going to be very draconian. Um, it, you know, but and then we'll have years of rollbacks. But the other side of it too is because we're so close to elections, I don't actually see any true regulation coming out. We'll see discussion pieces, we'll see suggestions, maybe. Um, we'll see a lot more hand in hand play with politicians and politics, I think, as more companies work to tokenize different aspects within the trade fight markets. And so, security tokens are getting expanded. More companies are pushing forth and declaring themselves security tokens, and so they're just so they want to fall under those regulations. It was very interesting how evasive Mr. Ginsler got during when being asked the difference of why Bitcoin was a commodity versus, Ethereum being a commodity, why he wouldn't even state some of these things that, were sort of laid out in fashion of way he went. So it will be really interesting to see what the follow-up commentary is from people a lot smarter than me come out over the next couple days. But we are actually going to be going over the entire video tomorrow. We might actually be getting a real funny guest coming up in the next couple days. It's not, I actually don't think I'm going to like announce it beforehand, because I'm going to just sort of want you know, some interesting pieces of, having that, having them up on stage. But they, might have a twist of lime in their name. So it's going to be really fun to see and see how they're doing. And what's coming up new and never. Shout out to Jess. I do see you late in the world. I totally understand that. It is 4 minutes to midnight here. Don't know if you were able to make it out to NFT NYC. I unfortunately was not able to make it to the Blue DAO events. I heard that they were amazing, and Blue DAO always does a really amazing job pulling together. When we say event, we think party, but they do a really good job of engineering it, I think, is the best way, so that there's a good networking spot. There's good conversation. There's good info, and then there's really good just sort of mingling afterwards. I'm not sure if they had a party piece, and DJ after party type of thing with this, as I wasn't able to make it, but really huge shout out to Amy and Jess from Blue DAO. So, huge shout out to them. I just, really interested to see what comes on over the next couple days. But this is sort of the way that we've been going. So as we get ready for the end of this bite, we see baby sister in the crowd. GM, thank you for joining us tonight as we're wrapping up tonight's quick bite. We're going to be covering the SEC videos and stuff like that tomorrow. We might actually have a really amazing guest tomorrow with us as well, so that will be a blast. I'm really happy to see how this goes. some really fun things are happening. So it's going to be really fun to see what goes on in these next 2 days of the conversations that are forming, people's posts. So please, one, always be careful what you're reading. One of the things that comments that I read, I really wanted to respond to it, but I didn't. Someone basically said that crypto is anti-American because uh, scammers demand Bitcoin as payment. Um, I then, you know, wanted to does that make the American dollar anti-American because all terrorists are paid in U.S. dollars? I don't know. But it was one of those things where trolls are trolls, and I don't want to engage in those things. You cannot demonize a currency based off of who uses it, unless that's the only person that uses it. If it, broad strokes wreck folks. And I'm just really excited to see how these conversations come out. On top of that, some amazing stuff is happening with Clopper. We're going to be setting up some really cool AMAs. I am super happy with the partnerships that we've made here at NFT NYC. NFT NYC has been amazing. For those of you who have not come, who don't know, wow. Talk about real life energy. Just sort of re-pumping and vitalizing. It has been one of the amazing, funnest things to do. Hosting, Clopper got to help co-host an amazing event with J Chains, Web3 Breakfast, and even we had Champagne Wives Club, we had Final Frontier, we had Meta Rides, we had Poor Pleb, and the Nemots, and I think there was another one. I forget what, but originally it was supposed to be pizza and beers. Then it turned into champagne on a rooftop and pizza. Taco was there for all about the pizza. Clopper was there in house. We had an amazing morning space, out there in the sun, literally blasting a speaker. I don't know how well it could have been heard from the street, but, blasting the entire Twitter space out into the New York, which was sort of fun. Having that time with people IRL. Machiavelli was there, no signal. I was just really happy with who I got to meet and be around some amazing people. Huge shout out to Turbo Made It as well. I just want to sort of end on that. And the disappointment of the week. Let's see here. The disappointments of the week was didn't get to meet Frank D. God, so that we're going to chalk that up to another event. That'll happen. Did not get to meet K Money. I have been wanting to meet K Money for a minute, and then at the same time, oh my gosh, why am I drawing a blank now? Last night I forgot Frank, but I remember the other two people. Tonight I remember the Frank, and the other person, but I forgot. I don't know. Hunting people down, trying to meet them. That you'll continuously have a chance to find them. So that's Farouk. That's who it was. Farouk wanted to really meet Farouk and give him a hug and stuff like that. And Farouk did this really amazing thing last year that I just sort of want to give him a hug. That is that. And as we finish up the rest, we are getting ready to go to Consensus. We're going to be leaving Saturday for Austin, Texas. So we will be coming to you from the road for a while. So that'll be a blast, as it always is. We will be out and about. So Consensus, we're looking forward to a lot of things. After consensus, we were going to be going to Vegas for Breathe. Breathe got moved back to September. And then on top of that, might do a quick melee over into Arizona and LA, and then Denver, and then back to New York, and down into the Batcave for the rest of the month as we at Clopper get ready for testnet. Working on cementing out our positions and our relationships with Ledger, made great connections at Magic Eden and OpenSea, and really want to push those forward. So it's been a really fun time. I'm super excited, everyone that's joining us. We did expand some of our streams tonight, so really cool to see and have people there. And we will see you on the flip side. And as we end every episode, we end every episode with a few things. One, we see TV. We see you down there. Just want to do a huge shout out from the Channelverse. Hope you are well. One of the things that we were going to talk about tonight is Zen. Zen is going a little crazy. And as I always like to remind people, take profits after that. It's mad money, and be safe. And then you can be a little bit more wild, with it. But I still recommend a little bit of safety sometimes. And so as we end every episode with our words of wisdom and the best joke on the face of the planet. Words of wisdom are: a closed mouth cannot be fed, and you cannot feed a closed mouth. Meaning, if no one knows you're looking for opportunity, no one knows you're looking for opportunity. And if you are not ready for opportunity when it comes to knocking, you are not ready for that opportunity. And so as we end with the best joke on the face of the planet, TV3, I thank you so much for joining us tonight. Tomorrow we'll be going all over the entire Gary Gensler piece from today, as well as one or possibly two special guests joining us. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night. Knock, knock. Who's